Maybe China has organized some crime in the United States, growing illegal cannabis for Mexican drug cartels.
Investigation into human trafficking in the illicit marijuana industry. Before tonight, it was hard to tell who is responsible. Now, Jacob Soboroff reports that a sophisticated international money laundering partnership may be to blame, with deadly consequences. It's the latest report in our series, Captives of Cannabis.
I I, I just find this like the fear-mongering title of captives of cannabis. That's just hilarious. If we just legalized cannabis nationwide, we wouldn't have this issue.
It's early in the morning in Riverside County, California. These sheriff's deputies are about to execute a dozen search warrants on residential homes. They say they're going to find illegal marijuana grows there and victims of human trafficking working on those grows. But first, they're going to go after the leader of the operation. Is this person a mid-level operator, kingpin, mastermind?
I would say this is a mid-level operator. We believe that the people that are ultimately in control are likely in China.
Search warrant, open the door!
Though honestly, how many of these illegal grows and drug operations are from the DEA and cops themselves, as as you can find various videos of cops selling drugs.
All right. Nice and easy.
I got him.
What did you guys find in there?
We found several documents that ultimately link these suspects living in this home to several of the other locations that we've been investigating.
The couple's arrested, and deputies focus on the organized crime ring they say this grow appears to be a part of.
We don't know how large this organization is, but we do believe that it is global to some extent.
If it is so big, how come you guys are out here alone? Where's the federal government? Where's the DEA?
That's a great question. That's a great question.
To push for answers, we met Bill Bodner, DEA's special agent in charge of Los Angeles, for an exclusive interview.
In our reporting, we've seen Chinese nationals involved in the illicit cannabis trade. The law enforcement that we've been talking to says that they believe that the bosses of those operations are back in China. How is that connected to what you're seeing?
The Chinese criminal organizations have such a desire for U.S. dollars in cash that they're getting into a variety of criminal enterprises to create that cash. And I'm not surprised to hear that them running cannabis grows, it's generating cash that they're then using to accomplish capital flight out of China.
Yeah, because cannabis is like the largest cash crop in the United States. This is why it should be legalized nationwide. Uh, you want to have these Chinese crime bosses growing cannabis in the United States and trafficking people in order to do this at the same time, because uh, you know, they would have to be regulated, and the regulated businesses would be able to easily outcompete any black market.
In other words, the DEA says this form of organized crime is one that extends far beyond black market cannabis and is rooted in a desire for Chinese nationals in the U.S. to get their money out of China due to recent restrictions in how much they can take out of the country. A U.S. Treasury official tells NBC News that Chinese criminal organizations are operating in the U.S. and now working with Mexican cartels by helping them launder money made from meth, fentanyl, and other drugs. They do so by loaning out the cartel's dollars to unsuspecting Chinese people living in America. These criminal organizations are then repaid in Chinese currency back in China, and the money launderers buy Chinese products and have them shipped to Mexico, where they're sold and give that money in pesos back to the cartels. In the end, no money
Are people making money this way? This seems kind of crazy.
actually crosses international borders, and the Treasury Department says the dirty dollars are, quote, disappearing into thin air. The DEA says instead of products like the clothes and appliances that were once widely available here in LA's whole
I wonder if the government's just mad that the Mexican drug cartels are working with China instead of them, since the DEA and the government is big on working with a lot of these drug cartels in Mexico to bring over cocaine and stuff into the United States. Um, Though, Mitch McConnell, uh, this wasn't from Mexico, but he did ship cocaine from China. Uh, a boat that his wife owns was found to have a bunch of cocaine in it. He didn't get in trouble because he's Mitch McConnell.
Wholesale district, the products money launderers are sending from China to Mexico are deadly.
Guess which product is very available in China that's not available here at all? Precursor chemicals. It was the synthetic drug explosion in 2015 and 2016 when this capital flight model started. Precursor chemicals were used as a way to transfer wealth.
In Mexico, the precursors are made into meth and fentanyl, synthetic drugs that have caused U.S. overdose deaths to more than double since 2015.
Hey, Sinaloa cartel, let me introduce you to Chinese organized crime. That's what happened. And by working together, they've been able to get millions, if not billions of dollars out of China into the United States, and they've been able to use a synthetic drug trade to do it.
For you in the DEA, how do you go after stopping this from happening?
Our focus is 100% Sinaloa cartel, Jalisco New Generation cartel, and it's
I mean, how can the DEA get rid of these drug crime lords if they can't even stop their own DEA agents from becoming drug kingpins themselves?
because of this synthetic drug trade. It's like nothing we've seen before.
Until then, Mexican cartels and Chinese organized crime continue to use the United States as their middleman, with no end in sight. Jacob Sober.